Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Movies That Make Us. I'm Jake.
I'm Tracy.
And I'm Lucky Day.
I guess that's true. Today, I'm Dusty Bottoms.
I'm Ned Nylander.
And Lucky Day. And if you haven't guessed by now, we are totally talking about Three Amigos today, which we are so excited to be talking about.
We are Three Amigos.
We are Three Amigos. It's true.
I looked for my Three Amigos outfit.
I have felt that way from the beginning. What?
This is true.
It's true.
No, but I have somewhere a Three Amigos costume, and I tried to find it today, and I couldn't find it.
This is the part in the show where I'd reach back in my cabinet back here and pull mine out, but I don't have one, unfortunately. That would have been awesome. I wish I did.
I've got
That
a
would have been
drink
so great.
today.
Oh,
You
I
got
have
a
the
drink.
whole thing,
Perfect.
frilly shirt and the hat and everything, but I can't find it.
This is
I have lots of hats, but I do not have a hat like that. I wish I did. Oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
Yeah, I had the whole setup. It was great.
I don't even know
Somewhere.
that there are a lot of mariachi bands that have a hat like that. I mean, these are incredible hats.
This is true.
I
I
love,
think we're going to wear a sweater.
yeah, so I don't have a sweater.
I had a
And
sweater on,
yeah,
and it's
Did ya?
freaking 80 degrees today. So instead, I'm fancy from here up,
There you go.
sweatpants the rest of the way down.
There
I've
you
been
go.
watching old movies all day. I just got inspired from because I watched this movie yesterday before I went
Okay.
to bed, and I was like, it's all the old movies on the old studios with all the costumes and the romance. And so today, I watched All About Eve and Some Like It Hot. So I was like, I'll do my hair and makeup. I've got a little strawberry old style drink.
Oh, I
Nice.
love some like
I'll be slurring my words like Marilyn by the end of the shoot.
or as we like to call it, Monday. It's fine. Just kidding. That's not true.
Zing.
So this movie, I have told you guys before, I don't have anything that plays discs anymore. Like I don't have a DVD player, Blu-ray player, so I do all digital. And this movie is very hard to
too.
find digital. Like
I know.
I rented it from iTunes, but there wasn't even an option to buy. Like the option wasn't even there. You can only rent it digitally, which is
I
weird.
luckily had a friend that has it on their Vudu.
Oh, nice.
And so I
Ah.
logged into their Vudu and watched it last night.
Nice.
Very nice. Yeah, we rented it. It was fine, and it was wonderful to watch it again. But this is such a classic, funny movie, start to finish. I mean, they just start going, and you're chuckling. Like the opening scene with them singing Three Amigos, and they hold that. And you're just.
Oh, are we all doing that together?
No, we don't need to. But I turned it on, and my wife was sitting next to me and she was crocheting her latest project, and that part happened and she kind of just looked up and she's like, what is going on? Because they just hold it forever. And I'm like, this is Three Amigos, man. This is what we're watching.
Never
Welcome
seen
to
it
the movie.
before?
She
never
had years and years ago, but it wasn't like a staple in her house. Like a lot of houses, you grew up and you watched Three Amigos all the time. Her house,
Yeah.
that wasn't what they watched all the time. So she had seen it. She knew kind of what it was, but wasn't as familiar with it. She's like, this is bizarre. I'm like, it's good. So you think this is weird? Just wait till we get to the singing bush and the invisible swordsman. I mean, that's
We both shut up.
well, how was I supposed to know where he was?
Oh, great. We killed the invisible swordsman. That was my line.
That
was my line.
Okay, there is so much though ridiculousness and silliness in this movie, and I don't know that anybody could do it as well as these guys did it.
Oh my gosh, you're not kidding.
I mean, they
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Saturday Night Live, they did the season finale this last week, and they had a they're doing them from home and remotely, and they had a segment with Martin Short that was just awesome.
Mm-hmm. He's so talented, and I think everybody is pretty familiar with Steve Martin and with Chevy Chase. He's probably the one that people are less. I mean, people know who Martin Short is. I'm not saying he's not well known.
They're not as familiar with his work.
Yeah.
Do you know that he started working at Disneyland in the magic shop?
Steve Martin. Yes.
Steve Martin did.
Yep. Steve Martin worked in the magic.
Yep.
Oh. Both of them did?
No.
Oh, I knew Steve Martin.
Sorry, I didn't know. Who were we talking about?
We were talking about Martin Short.
Oh, I'm talking about Steve Martin. There's too many Martins.
Well, he also used to perform at the Birdcage Theater at Knott's Berry Farm.
Very nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Martin
Short was actually, he was in the small Mickey costume.
Yeah. That would make sense. James says he's introducing his child, his kiddo, in the movie right now. Good on you, James. That's parenting done right. And
that is
nothing we wouldn't expect any less from the nerdy at-home dad, right? I mean, that's what James is. So
shout out to Joe.
Good parenting right there.
That's right.
I would say this movie has some of the great and most ridiculous movie quotes because some of them aren't even words.
Yeah.
Like when we talk about the scene where they're trying to break into the studio and he's trying to give the signal and he's trying to do bird noises and he's like, look up here. And
whipperwing.
And I just love it.
Farley.
And and I'm interested to know how many takes that took for them to get through with Chevy and Martin Short just sitting there straight-faced and ignoring it the whole time because he is up there flapping his arms.
I think they just let them go. When you have three comedians that are just amazing, you kind of just say, this is the scene. Mm-hmm. This is the objective of the scene. And then you just roll and you just like let them do their thing and you know you're going to come out with, something amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
that's exactly what we
try and direct that and tell them what to do. You're a stupid director.
They did that. They did that with Anchorman. They would do one pass with the script and then just let them do whatever they wanted. And they had enough jokes that they could do 2 full different movies with different jokes.
Wow.
And I bet
that's
you
awesome.
The outtakes for this, if this were to come out now and we'd have a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, I bet you there'd be some gold on there.
Yeah. I'm hoping a lot of it ended up in the movie, and I'm sure that it did. But yeah, it would be incredible.
I bet you there was a lot
that
didn't get in there that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
When you were watching this when you were all young boys, because I've never been a young boy, which one of these characters were you looked up to the most out of these characters?
I think
either Lucky or Ned.
I would say probably Lucky if I had to pick, just because Chevy Chase, Dusty Bottoms is great, and I have no problem being Dusty Bottoms in our group, but he wasn't cool. The only one of them that was kind of cool was Lucky Day.
Lucky.
And so that would probably be who I would pick.
Handsome guy. He gets the girl.
Yeah.
I really wanted Ned to get the girl. Like I really when I was younger.
Well, he kind of did at the very end.
I know.
But
through the whole thing, I was like, I want the short guy to win. I want him.
It wasn't until my late teens that I found out that veranda was in fact not a naughty word or like a female part of the body. It's like, I don't know what the veranda is, but I don't think you should be going around kissing people on it. The lips is fine. Well, the lips is fine.
James thinks that Ned was the coolest. So this is what's funny is we all logged in as who we thought we were. And I mean, right away, Jake, you were Dusty Bottoms. Like you knew.
No problem.
And then both Tracy and I logged in as Lucky Day. And I was like, Tracy, you're totally Ned. Like you are the funny one of the group. You're also the smart one that has come on, he had the most brains, right? The other two were like, woo! And you actually care about people.
Yeah. That was the big thing. Like when they're
To be
talking about
honest,
what they're going to
I
do with
care
their
about
cut with the
myself and
100,000
women. I am
pesos.
lucky day.
Yeah, when they're
To
talking
be
about the
honest,
100,000 pesos, that I was like, "Yep, Tracy's absolutely dead." I was going to start a home for homeless children. Yep,
I
that's
didn't
totally Tracy.
I didn't want to spell his name wrong, and we were on a time crunch, so I went with the easy name to spell.
Fair.
We
So
are
I
totally
went to Google, all right, I'll fix it.
we are totally the
Not
Three
fair.
Amigos.
I typed in
Totally
Ned, and
fair.
then I'm like, Niederlander. Is that 2 E's or is that 1 E? So okay, now James brings up a great point, and this took me when I was a kid, because I watched the joke about the mail plane. When I watched this as a kid, I didn't get that joke. It went over my head, and then years later,
how
when I
can
was
you
a
not just
teenager,
stop and wait for the laugh when you said that the plane joke just went over your head, Tracy? You have to stop for those moments, because that is comedy gold.
That was not
Well,
me
we've got to
meant
do
to
the
be,
joke
but
now, because what if people haven't seen this movie or they don't
True.
remember the joke? Do you remember the joke word for word, anybody? Do we need to look it up?
Well, how do you know if it's a male plane or a female plane?
Yeah, he says, well, that's a male plane. And they said, how can you tell?
How can you
because
tell?
it's got the little balls. And then he just sits there and looks. And my favorite moment, and this is when I knew I was Dusty out of the group, because Lucky gets it, and Dusty kind of stands there for a second. I don't. And then he pretends to get it. I'm like, that's totally me. Sometimes the innuendos.
Well, then later, when I was like a teenager, I was watching it on cable, and they censored that, which cracks me up. So instead of his balls, it was his little thingy dingy. That was the term that they used. I'm like, that's way worse.
How was that any better?
That's way worse, because that's what a little kid is going to call it.
That's exactly right. When you say balls, it just goes, you have no idea. But yeah,
you watch it and he says, well, he's got the little balls and it's the plane's flying over. You're like, well, no, that just looks, those are his wheels. What's his problem? Like, he doesn't know. Like, those are wheels on the airplane. Call it a thingalingy or whatever you said, and it's totally clear what that is.
Josh says that he would be Lucky Day. Good choice.
I think it was a great movie. It is a great movie, but it was when we were younger, because it was one of those movies that parents and kids could watch together, because kids aren't really going to get like the humor, but it's a very entertaining movie. Somebody gave us an angry face. What the what?
Whoa. Listen,
a mail plane?
It was our language, probably. I'll clean it up, all right? I'll try to do better.
Okay.
I thought balls was okay.
But it was entertaining for kids and adults. And yes, it did have a little bit of like off-color humor, but it wasn't like anything so bad. Josh gave us an angry face.
Listen, Josh, we haven't even gotten into Blue Shadows yet. We haven't even had a chance to agree or disagree with you.
Listen, Josh. Listen. That angry face needs to go away.
He's from the studio. That's the problem. Josh is from the studio. And I love Phil Hartman in that role.
I love that he's credited. I love that he's credited as Philip E. Hartman, is how he's in the credits. Wow, someone thought awfully highly of themselves back in the early days of their career.
Such an underappreciated and underrated actor.
If you're gonna do it. I love Phil Hartman, and he was probably just like, hey, just for funsies,
that would be my guess. Yeah. Take the Amigos clothes.
We're talking about Three Amigos. This is absolutely a no angry faces zone. Good point.
You can't take my clothes.
But you guys know, if you listen to this show, if you've paid attention to our social media at all, you know that angry faces drive me crazy. Like, you have to be super angry about something to give an angry face. What could we have possibly said here that would make you do that? Unless you're just trying to make me angry.
Producer Zach, you hear that?
Yeah, well, he knows firsthand. I've seen her end relationships over angry faces. So friendships temporarily.
I just feel like the interwebs is already full of negativity, and so I don't I don't care for it.
It's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
And
But hey,
especially
you do you. You do you, Josh. You do you.
Blue Shadows was a good song. That song, while it was going on and the horses started singing, Ben happened to be in the room while that was going on, and the horses started singing, and he just looked at me in his little 3-year-old look that he's got, and he says, "Why are them horses singing? Like, you know, horses don't sing." Like, because they
Have
are.
you never
In
seen a
this
horse
movie,
sing
they
before,
sing.
bud? What?
It wasn't even
Hello?
Mr. Ed.
No,
All right.
You should make your dog sing.
Okay, we do have to talk about Infamous.
He likes to
James,
give a good side eye, but he's no singer.
Infamous?
He's El Guapo.
infamous mean. El
It means
Guapo.
more than famous. More than famous.
I could put his sweater on him.
There you go.
That the whole them trying to explain to each other what infamous is and I just love it.
Infamous.
What does
Infamous?
infamous
Small
mean?
town.
It means everything that you just said: murderous, devious, all of that. But it costs less. Oh, thank you. And they get it. It's more than famous.
It's more than famous.
Infamous.
Josh says he didn't mean
I
to
know,
put
Josh.
angry face.
It's all in jest, man. It's all in jest.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
There are so many layers of jokes on this. You're right. I mean, my kids, if they
But seriously,
were sitting there, yeah, if my kids were watching it, I wouldn't worry too much about what they were seeing, because visually, I don't think there's anything overly inappropriate.
No.
And the jokes that would be inappropriate go way over their heads. I mean, like when when the one lady asks Carmen if she knows what foreplay is, and she says no, and she says that's fine because El Guapo doesn't either. Like, as an adult, that's hilarious, but my kids are like, I don't know what that is. Just move on.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Back to the horse singing.
I don't think I don't think that there are 3 actors or actresses right now that equal this team of like brilliant comedy. I don't even think people do this type of comedy anymore, just because I don't think it would work with our times right now. Like it works because they did it great when they did it, but I don't know who could pull this off. Like, let's say they did a remake of this movie, which they should never do. And we have brilliant comedians, but I just don't think they're in the same house as these 3. Like, it was amazing that they could get these 3, and I know they're really good friends regularly. But the fact that they would do it and they did something this silly and it turned out so great, because sometimes you get actors and you got 3 powerhouse actors and then the movie's crap. You know what I mean? Like, it just turns out crappy, but they just played off each other so well. The writing was so great and ridiculous. And I've been thinking, since the last time we were together, like, who could possibly play these parts? And I just could not come up with anyone.
Yeah, that would be really hard to recast.
Yeah, I think even from a talent aspect, like you said, and from a chemistry aspect as well. I mean, these guys, like you mentioned, Val, they're good friends off screen, and so that comes across as they're on screen together, and they've got that chemistry and that timing down. Because I think that's part of what makes it so funny is they know how to deliver the jokes individually, but they know how to do it together as a group, and that just elevates the whole thing. And you don't always get that. You can have 3 funny people, and they're not very good. I mean, if they tried to bring in 3 other people to do this show, it wouldn't be as good because they just don't have the timing down like we do.
Well, and the thing
they're timing comedians. They play off of each other. Yeah. I got what you did.
The thing that was great too is these guys don't do any. There's no like wink, nudge to the audience. Like, playing this movie so sincere. Like, these guys are just silly, stupid guys. It's not like we're really smart, but we're acting dumb kind of thing. It's just they play it purely innocent, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, all 3 of their characters are as dumb as they play them as. Like, they're not like, they really are that dumb. I really do love the moment when they're washing down by the river and, which one do you like, Carmen? I like the good-looking one that's not so smart. Which one is that?
Which one is that?
That's all three of them.
Oh. And then you've got Lucky trying to escape the dungeon.
Yes.
Gonna make it.
He keeps
Gonna make
pulling.
it.
Gonna make it.
Bam!
Or
And then he just goes, ow.
or
Why are you barking?
or when Dusty's in the closet and Carmen finds him and he says, well, we had a plan. Well, what's your plan? Well, we were going to get into El Guapo's fortress and come find you. And then what's your plan? Well, we didn't think the first part of the plan was going to work, so we don't have the rest of a plan.
That's the whole plan.
That was it.
I feel like that's kind of how we do our show. Our plan is we're going to talk about this movie, and then what's the plan? Well, I mean, let's see how far we get with just that part.
If that works, then we'll just keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of we get on the air. Our plan is to start a live broadcast at 6:30. After that, we made it to that point, folks. Like this is what you get.
We said we wanted to do a movie podcast, and that's what we're doing. Other than that, we just kind of go day by day.
If you're looking for like in-depth criticism and that's we're not your show.
Yeah,
we get into it. Sometimes you really dig deep in there.
But I just mean there are some podcasts where they get really deep into the symbolism and the technical stuff. And
I don't know that I'd say. I mean, there are plenty of times.
The burning bush. Let's get into the symbolism of burning bush.
Nope. I don't think we should.
She'll be coming down the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming around
My goal is to always make Dusty Bottoms feel uncomfortable.
And it usually works. No, I don't want to talk about what a burning bush might actually be.
What if it's the burning singing bush?
The what?
The burning singing bush.
The burning singing bush? Still, I don't know.
I'm on fire.
This bush is on fire. Bring me
got
my
the glasses up now. No, we did it. We got his glasses up.
I love the scene.
Yes.
Winner. Who wants dinner?
I
was going to drop my mic, but it might break.
Yeah, don't do that. I love the scene where they're on the horses in the desert and Ned and Lucky are drinking from their canteens and like it's just gone. Like there's dirt in one of them. The other one's just empty. And then there's Dusty Bottoms and he's just drinking and it's just like going everywhere and he's done and he just throws it on the ground and it's just spilling out all over the ground.
And the other two
and then
are
he's got lip balm and he's putting lip balm on. Lip balm?
And he doesn't put it on like a normal person. He doesn't just go like this. He's like, like it was. I feel a little uncomfortable about it. Actually, I think you should reenact the scene. What I think.
No, I mean there was water involved, and then the lip. I don't have any lip balm.
Pretend
in my magic cabinet. No, but there are just so many moments. I wonder
if they made Three Amigos Funko Pops.
I'm sure they do. If they do, we need
just a Google search away.
I know, but for live. So
if they have them, we need to get them and each have our own.
If not, then Funko, get on that.
Tracy.
All right, let's see what we find out here.
All right, Jake is being our internet sleuth.
Oh, Josh had a good idea. We didn't start the fire.
Oh my goodness. So I don't think they're out there yet. No Three Amigos yet.
Oh.
That is a missed opportunity. But I don't know who has the licensing rights to this. Like, there's got to be something with like who owns the rights to this movie because you can't buy it digitally. You can only rent it. There's got to be something weird with that, and that's why don't see as much merchandise as we should.
I bet you're right.
Granted, this is an older movie, so we don't see a lot of merchandise for older movies, but a lot of that nostalgia type merchandise like Funko Pops. This would be a home run. Put that in a 3-pack, sell it for $30, and people would buy it like it was going out of style.
Fly off the shelves. Absolutely.
Oh yeah. And throw in a Funko Pop. I would love for them to throw in a Funko Pop of the Singing Bush. You've got to have El Guapo in there, Jefe. And then I would love for them to have
a sweater.
I want a sweater, a Funko sweater just sitting there.
A Funko sweater. Perfect. I would love for them to have the Invisible Swordsman Funko Pop. Just a box, and people would pay $10 for it. I'm telling you, you put Three Amigos, Invisible Swordsman, put a box out there, $10, it will sell.
Oh, great!
To just play out of the box.
Swordsman.
I love when they pick up the invisible wrist and drop it in the ground. It makes a little...
We all shot up. Well, how was I supposed to know where he was?
I love the scene because I think who they cast for Rosita, she was totally fantastic. And the fact that she could stay in character the whole time around those guys, she really had like the hardest job, because she needed to be in character. And you're working with 3 hilarious people, but she has acting chops because like she had to not give in to like, getting out of character. And I love that scene when she was like, I was thinking later you could kiss me on the veranda. And Dusty's like, lips would be fine.
Lips is fine. Well, even leading up to that, would you like to kiss me? Well, yeah. And then he keeps playing the guitar. What, like right now?
Oh.
Sorry, my bad. Totally misunderstood. I love the Plethora conversation. It's one of the classic movie moments. I mean, when he's like, would you say there's a plethora of piñatas? Or what? Or gifts? It's gifts.
Yeah, guapo. See, you have a plethora.
You have a plethora.
Do you know what plethora means?
Would you say that I had a plethora of sweaters? What does plethora mean?
Could it be that you are upset that Lady Carmen is not interested in you, so you are taking it out on me?
I mean, that whole scene. And then he goes into how you can't force a woman to open her flower and everything else, and it just goes on. And he's like, so when is she going to open up to you? Tonight, or I will kill her.
James says, when my brothers and I were younger, my grandma would turn on the movie while he was babysitting. He'd mute it, and we would do all the lines. My older brother's trying to track down some costumes for us. You can get them. I had purchased. For Halloween one year, there were 3 of us in the digital team, 3 guys, and we all went as the Three Amigos and ordered costumes. So they're available. They're out there.
Oh, I'm sure.
That would be amazing. His grandpa would mute figure that out. I want to see that. If you guys figure that out, it'd be awesome.
Speaking of costumes, when they walk in to the cantina in their costumes and they walk up to the bartender and they say to him, we're not from around here. Obviously, I don't think anybody had any question. You don't have to explain yourselves. It is clear.
They're so shiny.
But the scene before that, when the Germans go into the same bar, the guy goes, hey, look at the 2 little sissies. And then they just open up and shoot everybody. So that when the Three Amigos show up, everybody's just petrified.
What was the other way around?
I love the guy who they have play. I love the guy who they have play the German guy. Like, he is the best.
It's movie tricks. No one can be as fast as you appear to be.
I never did any.
You can't do German accent.
I can a little bit. But yeah, when he's Ned Niederländer, oh, you are like a god to me. I used to go to the cinema all the time. It was great. It was just awesome. And his whole like, you were amazing. I've had a little practice with the German, so it's all right.
Do it.
But yeah, I love everything. I mean, yeah, when he goes in and he shoots people, so they think that the Three Amigos are his friends, so they're going to take them seriously, and then they don't take the other Germans seriously. It's great, the whole thing. And I love how long it takes them to figure out that it's real, because they're like, "Oh, we're going to go down and do a show, and everything's going to be great. We're going to make 100,000 pesos," which I don't know what the exchange rate was back then, but 100,000 pesos isn't quite as much as you might think, or at least like they were thinking. And like,
that's one of my favorite lines when Steve Martin gets shot, when Lucky Day gets shot, and he comes back, he's like, "It's real. It's real.
Yeah.
Those are real bullets."
When he walks up to Hefe, he's like, "Let me see that. Let me see that." He takes the gun. Just as I thought. These are real bullets. And then they just run away.
What are we going to do?
Well, and I just like every time I have a movie that's like this that I love, I always like picture like, how did they pitch this? Okay, so I've got a movie and there's 3 actors and they're going to be washed up actors, but they get hired to go to Mexico. No, stay with me. Stay with me on this. Because they're going to have to fight the bad guys, but they don't know they're bad guys, and the bad guys don't know they are actors. Stay with me.
You've got to go picture.
And I want Steve Martin.
You've got to picture.
I think I hope it probably just went, look, I've got Steve Martin, Chevy Chase, Martin Short. They want to make a movie where they dress up in these costumes, and it's going to be, studio's like, yeah, that's fine. Just do it. It'll be good. It'll be good. I'm not worried about it. But I don't know.
We
but
have
still,
to have like 3 costumes they can use back there that we were going to use on this other movie. It'll be fine.
It was the 80s, Val, from Josh.
No, I don't have a problem with it. I do this with every movie that I like because most of the movies I like are ridiculous. I made my boyfriend watch The Meg the other day because he'd never seen it. And I'm like, okay, so I've got Jason Statham and he's going to fight this giant shark.
Right?
Yeah. What else do you need? That's all you need.
If you add a tornado into that, you got something incredible.
Oh, no.
I'm just saying, if you want ridiculous, you want sharks.
I've tried. I can't do it.
Tracy's reaction to his own joke was better than the actual joke. I just want to throw it out there.
Dude, that happens all the time. Happens all the time. Nobody else thinks I'm that funny, so I have to laugh at it.
I think I'm hilarious. That's all that counts, right? That's all that matters.
The voices in my head
appreciate it. There's going to be a scene where all 3 of them enter a bar and they are going to sing My Little Buttercup. Now stay with me.
Now, what's My Little Buttercup?
Oh my gosh. I could not, like, you can't help but laugh every time. Like, let's go ahead and give them a show, guys. And then Dusty Bottoms goes over there and starts playing the piano, and then Martin Short and Steve Martin dance. And they sing a song, and it goes a little something like this. Everybody at home, just follow along because we're going to do this. We're going to sing along. This one has lyrics, and we'll see how this goes. Tracy is usually our singer on the show, but we're going to all give it a whirl on this one. This is my part, so I don't have to sing. I'm just going to do the piano part, I guess.
It's not moving.
It's not video. It is video. Buttercup has the sweetest smile. Little Buttercup, won't you stay a while? Come with me when we in the sky. And I linger sweet by and by. Oh, Buttercup,
with your eyes so blue.
We're really bad. We should never sing.
Buttercup,
you'll come true.
You little buttercup, I love
My
little buttercup. Has a sweetest smile. Won't you stay now?
Wild.
Then cottage just for two. You little buttercup, sweet little buttercup, my little buttercup.
Tracy, where were you?
Oh, that scene is so. And then right before that, when they're ordering drinks, we have tequila. It's like beer.
And then when they drink it,
it's probably watered down.
I'm pretty sure that's how I would react to any beer, tequila, whatever at this point in my life, I'm sure. Wow.
Oh, Josh was singing.
Thank you, Josh.
We appreciate it.
Oh,
I think you're gonna.
No, you spelled my name wrong. No,
I mean,
statement. He's just owning you as a friend, and it's the name that got you wrong. I mean, obviously, you guys are close.
see now I know Sharknado's they're bad movies, but they entertain me, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Is it fattening?
Right. Is it fattening?
everybody has that movie or those movies that they love that nobody else likes, and we're going to be doing some of those episodes coming up.
Yeah, we've got to do like a month of
Which
where
means
we
I'm going to have to watch Sharknado, apparently.
we're going to make
But you
each
have to
other
pick
watch
one
movies that we
Sharknado.
know
I'm not
are
watching all of
bad.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
them. You have to pick your favorite Sharknado. I'm not watching all of them.
But they build on each other. There's layers of symbolism.
No. Like an onion?
Yeah.
There's layers of symbolism in the tornadoes filled with sharks. Layers of symbolism.
Layers.
Well, this I don't know where to go from there, Tracy. I've got no segue back on topic from layers of symbolism.
Let's go back to the okay, so talking about the movie.
Yes.
One of my favorite scenes is when they're talking to the village people about how they can defend the city from El Guapo. What is it that this town does really well?
We can
We
sew.
can sew.
Well, why didn't you say that sooner? I mean, if you would have told us that at the beginning, we would be way further ahead by now. Let's go sew.
I love
So
it
like the wind.
too when they
I feel like
out,
them and Delta have that in common.
I love. Here's my question for Noel. Which part is he sorry about? Misspelling your name or disowning you as a friend? That's my question, Noel. Which part are you sorry about?
Don't be sorry about Sharknado, Noel. Don't be sorry. Stick to your guns.
Noel and I went to film school together.
Okay. Well, no wonder he's a
The
little
fact
upset
that you
that
went
like
to film
Sharknado.
school and you're like, I love Sharknado.
Because when
It
I
makes
was in
me
film
wanna
school,
question the film school you went to.
don't degrade
But
to you.
I'm
Come
going
on.
to talk about the pirate movie in a couple of weeks. So,
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
a
I guess
great
I
one.
can't.
That's a great one as well. No, but when I was in film school, I was kind of a film elitist. You know, I was very much into Bergman and Orson Welles, and so I was kind of the Truffaut, and so I kind of dismissed a lot of silly movies, and now I've rediscovered that I like them. So there's a time for art. There's a time for
You're still a little bit of a film elitist.
Yeah,
You're the snob of our show. If you're not aware of it, you're the snob of our show. I'm the dick, you're the snob, and Jake's the nice guy.
I'm just along for the ride. I think it's similar to like when Martin Scorsese says that the Marvel movies are not cinema, and that makes people mad. But they're not, right? Like cinema to me is something a little bit higher brow than what you get in the Marvel movies. That doesn't mean they're not good or that you can't enjoy them.
I think they're plenty cinema. I will argue this. This has to be a different episode because I will argue it. I have arguing points. I will turn you around by the time we're done. I have written a whole thesis on this.
Nice.
Scorsese.
Wow.
Spit on myself.
And we raspberried Scorsese. I think that's where you end the episode. I mean, where do you go
Is that
from
the
there?
title of this?
Once you
I
put
know.
raspberries at Scorsese, like,
And
so
you know
take
how
that.
much I love Scorsese, but like,
You could take your Oscars
Martin, seriously, Martin, what are you doing? Like, you don't rack on another franchise. Like, you just don't. That's not something you do. After I did that to Sharknado, but still, I'm not Scorsese.
yeah.
I'm not as important. I can say whatevs, you know?
Yeah. That's fair.
That's fair. That's fair.
Well, okay then.
Oh, so do you have a favorite moment of this movie? If you had to pick one, can you? I don't know if I could.
There was one moment. I don't know that I could pick a favorite, but one moment that I really enjoyed watching it yesterday was when he's caught Lucky Day. Dusty is dressed up and he goes through and he's talking about how he knows each of the men in his gang, and he gets to Dusty and they talk about raping the horses and riding off on the women, and he says, "Who are you?" And he said,
very small hedges.
yeah. And he's like, are gringos just falling out of the sky? And the thing is, I knew the joke was coming. I knew what was happening, but the delivery still made me laugh when when Ned Niederlander just falls from the sky, when he says, are gringos just falling out of the sky? It was hilarious, even though you knew exactly what was going to happen. They set it up and it's so obvious, but it was still perfectly timed and well done. So I think that was a moment that I enjoyed yesterday watching it. Not that there were a lot of moments. There were a plethora of favorite moments and scenes. What about you, Val?
Yeah. I mean, I can't get away from, this scene right here that I'd like to share. I mean, when they're on the wall, man.
Yes.
Like, it's just brilliant.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, like, watch it. So he's up there. Look what he's wearing. They're down there just like two little kids. And he's trying not to be distracting.
Yes.
Look
up here. Hey, you too.
You too.
And the way they just play it, like, it is so.
Look up here.
I don't think people understand how hard it is to play something like that so straight-faced while somebody's being so absurd, and you're just pretending like it's not even happening.
And then he just gives up. It's like that part right there. That shot is amazing.
Whiffering.
He's like, it's
That's
amazing. It just the shot, the timing, the whole idea of it. It just, yeah.
It's a good choice. What about you, Ned?
If I had to choose, it would probably be the wall scene.
Yeah.
Although the My Little Buttercup just kills me every single time. The reaction on those poor villagers' faces who are afraid that they're going to get killed if they don't give the right answer.
Smile. Wild.
And they're like, hey.
Wow. You will have fun. They all left that bar rethinking their lives. They made a difference in that bar that day.
That is
Whoever
true.
didn't
That is
die.
true. And we have not given enough credit to John Landis, who directed this movie, to be able to keep these guys focused and not go too off the rails, but yet still allowing them the freedom to do what they needed to do.
Yeah.
Excellent job.
Yeah, I think he made that beautifully.
I don't
Landis
think
is kind of
people
hit or miss
really
sometimes.
remember that he's the director of this film. And he's just so brilliant. Like this movie seems effortless, but I'm sure like to make it look that way is a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Yeah. Absolutely. And that's what real talent is, to make something that's a lot of work look effortless.
You will die like dogs.
Would die like dogs.
They're riding in circles around them, putting on the show, and woo, firing their guns up.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
You know, there are very few movies that reach this point where they're decades old and they still hold up as well as this one does. I mean, there are a lot of movies that hold up really well, but this one, there's nothing about it that seems dated or feels out of place. A part of it is they do it as a period piece, you know, in the 1910s. So they're not looking like they're from the 80s. They're looking from they're from that time period. It just works. Everything in this movie just really, really works. Even today, the humor is still as solid as it was back then. It doesn't miss a beat. I just have a hard time picking anything wrong with this movie.
Yeah, I would agree with that. This is a classic.
Yeah, there isn't anything I would cut, you know, like we always talk about, okay, movie was good, but you could have cut like 15 minutes off of it or something like that, or this scene really wasn't necessary. And I think it was all there. It was all great.
Yeah, I agree. But now comes the time where we have to give it a grade. What would you guys grade this one?
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right.
I'll give this one an A. This is one I can pop in at rent now. I used to be a pop in back in the day of the VHS cassette. But no, this is a classic movie. Incredible one-liners, incredible performances, tightly edited. I'm with Val. I don't know what you would cut. A for me.
Yep. What about you?
Yeah,
Val?
I would give it an A as well. This is when I figured out that it wasn't easily streamable. I was like, I need to go find this movie. I need to own this movie. I don't know why I don't own it already. I used to watch it so much as a kid and I haven't seen it in years, and I would watch it over and over. And yes, it's a comedy. And so people they're like, yeah, it's funny, you know, and then they watch it again and they realize how brilliant it is, but also like, look at the cinematography, like those scenes were beautifully matched because they were also making fun of that time period of movie, which were like Westerns and Zorro and all of that, where they had to be these landscape shots and, you know, these desert scenes and the, you know, the fake sunset that they kind of had going on. And it was beautiful cinematography. It wasn't just a comedy.
Yeah, when they're singing Blue Shadows against that desert backdrop, I mean, it looks almost just painted on. It's just incredible.
Yeah, a little trivia for you. If Martin Short was not available, they would have cast Rick Moranis. I like Rick Moranis, but I don't know how well that would work.
Yeah,
I don't know either.
I think Rick Moranis, the thing about Martin Short is that, yes, he's kind of that guy that you can push around a little bit because he's little and he's, you know, he does care about people, but he also can stand his ground. And I think Rick Moranis, I don't know if he could have pulled that off. He would have gotten the wimpy part for sure, but I don't know if he could have been that.
Well, there's a real earnestness to that character too.
Yeah.
Although there's got to be,
sure Moranis would have nailed it. What were you going to say, Jake?
There's got to be movies that make us in an alternate timeline that's talking about, can you believe that they almost cast Martin Short in this film instead of Rick Moranis? That would have never worked. Rick Moranis was brilliant in this film. But that's an issue for alternate timeline us.
Oh, at one point, Steven Spielberg was slated to direct, and he wanted Steve Martin, Bill Murray, and Robin Williams to play Lucky, Dusty, and Ned. Now, that would have been a good lineup, too.
That would have taken a really long time to film.
Oh, yeah. Like, Robin Williams and Bill Murray.
I mean,
oh, yeah.
Oh, my
God. That would have been interesting.
Yeah, it would have been good. I mean, it's hard to think of Bill Murray.
It would have been different. It would have been different, but it would have been good. Yeah.
I think the problem with Bill Murray is he doesn't play the dumb well, that's not true. What about Bob is brilliant and he's really funny in it and he's dumb in that movie. So
he plays with Chevy Chase in a movie where he's pretty...
Oh yeah. Yeah, Caddyshack. Boy.
I mean, I wouldn't
So I
say
got
that
that going for me.
He's got ideas.
Which is nice.
He's got ideas.
What did I say? Bill Murray can do whatever he wants. The guy can play whatever he wants. He's amazing.
True. That's true.
I would
James-
also give this an A. We're past that point, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
James is saying that if you find the 25th anniversary Blu-ray, there's 20 minutes of deleted scenes. So we kind of need to find that now.
All right.
Yeah. If somebody
I bet
finds
you
us,
there's
let us
even
know.
more,
I mean, I
but-
know I can Google it and find it, but
Yeah.
thanks. I need to do that. We need to have that for sure.
Well,
Oh,
this was fun, guys. We are going.
fun.
You can look
We all
for
need
this.
a good comedy in this time and day and age, you know?
Yeah, and this one's perfect. It isn't widely available on like Netflix or Hulu. You can find it though on iTunes or Amazon Prime and rent it for like $4, which, trust me, an evening of laughs is well worth $4 right now. It's totally worth it.
But I say own it. Like if you can find it, own
Yeah,
it.
if you can find it, and
it's gonna be a good investment.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But yeah, it's definitely one of the best movies out there. It'll make you laugh. It'll make you.
We're all going to James's house. He owns it. All right, James.
Fun.
When this is over,
All right, James, we're on
We're
our
all-
way.
When we can break quarantine, we're on
We'll-
our way.
We're all on our way, and we'll all sit 6 feet apart. We've got masks. I don't have mine like right here at my desk.
I've got mine in my car.
Yeah, but we'll.
Al's got the
we'll
skull
come
and
over.
crossbones. Awesome.
We're so
well, I
we'll
had it
socially
here
distant.
because I was doing this, but I
Yeah.
also had it here because I dressed my boyfriend up as
Brett Michaels.
Brett Michaels the other day, and it just happened to be sitting here. So
If you
Nice.
did not see pictures of that, it was fantastic.
Sammy,
for
my
the
daughter.
win.
Oh my
Sammy for
gosh,
the win.
Sammy!
Your David
I'm
Lee
like, you
was
just
on
need to
point.
go driving around. Like, you just need to go. She was pre-Malone because she was a little bit younger. She was
Okay.
pre-Malone, but I
Pre-Malone.
mean, she got the post. She got the post down for sure.
That was awesome.
Now, your Bowie was amazing. But
Pre-
Sammy
Oh,
took it
thanks.
to
I know
another
everybody.
level.
I got all these messages. Do you smoke now? I'm like, no. I borrowed it for a picture. That's why I posted it with the picture.
Yeah.
Come on, people.
This is what
No.
happens when you get a tattoo. It's a slippery slope.
When I get 7,
Yeah, it's a slippery slope. Next thing you know, you're smoking.
It's true.
1, smoking's disgusting. 2, I'm allergic to cigarette smoke, and so is my daughter. So no. Plus, it's really expensive, and I'm broke. If
Those
I'm
are all
going
really-
to start a new habit, that's not going to be it.
Those are all really good reasons to not smoke. I can't
I
argue
don't
with
like the smell. I'm allergic, and so is my doctor. And it's expensive, and I'm broke. Those are 3 very compelling reasons.
Perfect. Well, on
That
that
is
note,
absolutely true.
Don't
if
do
you want to
drugs,
get a hold
kids.
of us, we definitely would love to see your emails, suggestions for other movies that you want us to do. This one was really fun. We really appreciate it. This was a suggestion from a couple weeks ago when we were doing one of our weekly check-ins, which you can find us doing every Saturday around 2:30 on the Facebooks, and we'll put it out on YouTube as well. And this is
I
going to
Want
be
to
up
say
on.
something, Jake, before we wrap it up. I started the video with Marilyn Monroe hair, and now I feel like I have something about Mary hair.
Well, what kind of hair gel are you using, Val? I started.
Jerry
with
Stiller
this-
passed away.
Oh, that's
That made me think
Or
of
I
Jerry
could be
Stiller.
Martin Short's character with the flippy flu.
Yes.
Yes, there you
Yes. You could be like the member of the Lollipop Guild.
go. Yeah, Jerry Stiller did pass away, and that is really sad.
Yeah.
So tonight, go watch Three Amigos,
Go watch
and if you
something
don't have
funny.
time for that, go watch the episode of Seinfeld where he does Serenity Now, or he's working the bro, or doing something because
If
he
you
was
need to air your grievances,
genius
air your
in that show.
grievances.
yes. Put the Festivus episode on. It's the festival for the Festivus for the rest of us.
The rest of us. Yep.
But yeah, he was a comedy genius and just amazingly talented. You can reach us at podcast@moviesthatmakeus.com. You can also leave us comments here on our videos. We love the interaction. This has been a lot of fun over the last few weeks, even though we're all apart physically. It's been fun to be connecting with you guys through this medium. It's been really cool. Thank you for watching. Yeah,
Thanks
with
for
our fans,
singing
absolutely.
along.
Yeah, that
Thanks
was
for
great.
singing along with us.
And we won't see you at the movies, but we'll see you online. So keep posted. We'll see you later. Bye.
See you Saturday.